Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Storytime Saturday, episode 10. But anyway, we're going to be talking about my least favorite teacher, alright? So if you saw episode 2, you know that I do have a teacher which I, really hate, but this one is about 10 times worse, okay? So, first off, I want to thank you so much for 5,000 subscribers. It's fucking awesome. I reached, 1,000 in, February, 2000 in May, and then 3, 4, and 5,000 open in June and July, so that is awesome. I've gained so much subscribers so quickly. I want to thank you all for that. But anyway, let's jump right into this commentary. So usually at my school, I'm pretty liked by my teachers. I usually don't like to talk during some of my classes. Either it's because I hate the people in there, or it's because I respect the teacher and everything. But I did have a science teacher which was really chill. She let us text during school or talk whenever we wanted to, so I just talked as much as I possibly could, just had a good time. But since my school is pretty strict and everything, some teachers aren't like that. But anyway, my science teacher, she left. She was kind of chill, but she left, and then we got a new science teacher, which was actually this other guy during second quarter, and he was my favorite teacher. He was the best teacher you could ever ask for. He was what he basically did was play ukulele the entire class, and he just let us do whatever. It was awesome. But anyway, he had to leave as well, so after second quarter he left, and we got a new teacher, which is probably the worst decision the school has ever made. Okay, so this is going to be back in December-ish, or maybe January, right after winter break. So she joined, and, I was going to be, treating her like a normal teacher, with love and respect and everything. Since, the teachers do like me, because I've, above average grades in all my classes. But anyway, basically, she was a horrible teacher. She hated all the guys. She was extremely sexist, but there's 2 girls in my class, and it's a really small school, and she loved those girls. She treated them like they were angels and everything, and all the other guys, or the 10 or 15 other guys in the class, she treated like garbage, or at least most of them. So, anyway, these girls, I have nothing against the girls, by the way. It's just they were either skipping class every day or going out and getting goldfish and just ditching, going to the bathroom half of the class, and she didn't care. The girls got back and they're like, "Oh, you guys are so cute, you're inseparable." But with me, I just taught barely ever. I taught maybe a couple times during the class when she wasn't teaching, and she got mad. She was threatening to call my parents. I was talking to my friend, and this was after she got done teaching. It was the last 5 minutes of class. Actually, it was it was the last minute of class. And I was talking, and she was like, "Hey, Michael, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm talking." And I started packing up because it was a minute left. And then so I started packing up, and then she was like, "Michael, don't pack up. We still have a minute left." And you know how all teachers say that? They're like, "Oh, yeah, we still have 10 seconds left." I was like, "Yeah, the bell's going to ring in 10 seconds. And she's like, "No, it isn't." Then you wait until it rings. And then it rang, right after that. I was like, "Oh, would you look at that?" And I walked away. And that's the moment that I started to hate her. I really hated her. And her name, I'm not going to say her last name or anything, but it rhymed with Blunt or something, something like that. And so what I did was call her, and a lot of my friends called her this too, but Mrs. Cunt, and that's what we would call her, Miss Cunt. And I talked to some other girls outside of the class, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I love her. She's the best teacher. She treats me so nice." And all the guys hate her. But anyway, you're not allowed to bring outside food into that classroom. You are in some classes, but she gives us food, and by the way, the girls do bring outside food, and she's completely fine with that. But with us, she gives us chips and stuff every single day, just because we either did well on a test or something like that. But with me, she gives me the smallest portion of chips. I'm like, "Hey, come on, this is nothing. I'm a growing man, I need food." And then she's like, "No, this is fine." And then she comes back every once in a while to, give me 2 more chips and stuff. But she makes fun of me for my grades, and my grades are awesome. She even told me, she's like, "Yeah, Michael, for this test, I'm marking you down points for your attitude." I'm like, "I have no attitude. I did completely well on the test." She thinks I'm goofing off the entire class. I give her my notes, and she's impressed and everything, but she's also disappointed, and she threatens to call the principal and separates me and my friends, and has me sitting the opposite side of the room of where my friends are, and I'm sitting there just with one other person, and all my other friends on the other side of the room. She does that, and she's just a horrible person. And also a little side note, every 10 seconds she would say "MK." So she would say, "So this is the heart, MK, and then we got this artery that leads to the lungs, MK, and then this valve, MK, and this pulmonary trunk, MK." And that would really get on people's nerves. So after a while, every single time she would say "MK," I would say "MK" again. So she'd be like, oh, so this leads to the lungs, okay? I'm like, okay. And then, like, she would do that over and over again. And after a while, she started, like, noticing in that. And she's like, okay, Michael, I need you to stop saying that, okay? I'm like, alright. But then, that's when I knew, like, after that, that was the point where she really started hating me, like, extremely. I was probably easily her least favorite person that, like, she taught ever, at least in that school. And I could definitely tell, everybody could tell that she hated me. But anyway, I wanted to get back on her. Like, she was doing this so much, and so this is what I did. So we were doing like a speech type thing on the heart. Like, we were studying the heart and the different like arteries and stuff. And I was gone. I don't know what I was doing, but I think I was sick for like 2 days straight. So I had no idea we were supposed to do the speech, and I was like completely unprepared because she obviously didn't want to tell me, or if she told somebody else, she would tell them in secret without me hearing because she wanted my grades to fail so badly. Like, she really did. Like, she was saying, oh, how are your grades in your other class? I'm like, oh, pretty good, A's and B's. And then she's like, oh, really? Then what happened here? I was like, oh, it's probably because you marked my grades down for me goofing off, even though I'm not goofing off. Like, even when she says, okay, guys, class is over, guys can talk quietly now. When I'm talking, she's like, why are you talking? But anyway, so this is sort of what I did to get back at her. So we're studying the heart, and she said, obviously, of course, I was the first one to go up and give my speech, even though I had no idea what to do. I was like, so what is this speech on? And then she's like, on the heart. I'm like, okay. But I didn't know about this. And she's like, well, if you studied the heart correctly, you would have known. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll just improvise. That's what I thought. So I went up there, and I'm like, okay, so there are many different types of hearts. There are a good heart, and I showed like a picture of a good heart. And then there's an old, rotten, dying heart. There's a nice, warm, gentle, compassionate heart, and then there's a heart of cold, evilness, and wickedness. I looked over at her when I was saying that. I'm like, I knew that she knew that I was looking at her. Like, I was forcing my eyes to look at her, which is completely, like, horrible, because I did not want to look at her. She's just completely disturbing and everything. So I looked at her, I was like, and then there are hearts of goodness, of kindness, who love others, and then there's people who have hearts which are evil. And then there's a physical side. There's people who have really good hearts, they're young, and then there's people whose hearts are dying and getting old. And I looked over to her, and then she was just like infuriating because she was, number one, mad that I was giving a great speech, and number two, she was mad because I was insulting her, but it wasn't directly, so she couldn't really get me in trouble for that, even though she was about to get me in trouble for talking when she said I could talk. But anyway, she just that's what I did to get back at her. I know she hated me. Like, she said that she's going to not come back next year, which I'm so glad. And actually, it's a very happy ending. One of my favorite teachers, the one I talked about who played the ukulele every day, he's actually coming back next year to my school, which is awesome. But anyway, like, she would just cross the line. She would make fun of my grades, which are actually not that bad. Like, in her class, I ended up with a B. And she would even make fun of my foreign exchange student friend, which is completely wrong. She would call him, like, basically stupid, even though he was still learning English. Like, he didn't know English completely well, and she was insulting him for that, even though she doesn't know any other languages, I don't think. But anyway, that's basically my little story. I think you guys might enjoy that. It was a different type of story. It wasn't exactly like a crazy life story, but it was kind of something I thought was funny. Usually I'm a pretty mature person when it comes to something like that, but when someone insults me directly and thinks she'll get away from it, she's not gonna do that. So anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Once again, thank you so much for 5,000 subscribers. I might do another setup video or something once I get my equipment, but anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later.